The Colorado sunrise painted the sky in delicate pinks as I froze, my coffee mug nearly slipping from my hand. A monstrous concrete slab, a hulking mass of gray spite, sprawled across the half-built entrance to our ranch, choking off our gate. Pinned to its surface was a notice, the Crestwood Estates HOA logo glaring like a predator. Bold letters screamed that our gate violated their precious community aesthetic standards, and demanded we stop construction. My pulse hammered with rage and disbelief. My wife, Sarah, and I had never signed up for any HOA. Our 5-acre sanctuary, Whispering Pines Ranch, tucked just beyond the manicured sprawl of Crestwood Estates, was chosen for its sweeping mountain vistas and quiet solitude. Why the hell were they barricading our dream? I called Sarah, my voice taut. You need to see this. She arrived, her attorney's eyes slicing through the scene with icy precision. This is a declaration of war, she whispered, as we stood, reeling from the sheer nerve of it. A polished SUV rolled up, its Crestwood logo gleaming. Out stepped Victoria Langston, HOA president, her auburn hair flawless, her tailored suit dripping with wealth. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, I presume? She said, her tone smooth but venomous. You've seen our notice about your quaint little project. The way she spat, quaint, made it sound like garbage. I steadied myself, years of civil engineering keeping my temper in check. Ms. Langston, our land isn't part of Crestwood. We made sure of that before buying. Her smile was a razor. Your property may not be, but Aspen Way, your access road? That's ours. Check your deed. She shoved a cease and desist order into my hand. Comply, or our county contacts will make life difficult. With that, she sashayed back to her SUV and peeled away, leaving the paper burning in my grip. Sarah's jaw clenched. We need those records. Now. We cut across our neighbor's land. General Tom Ramsey, a grizzled veteran who despised the HOA to reach our house. Spreading plat maps across the kitchen table, we unearthed the gut-wrenching truth. While our ranch was free and clear, Aspen Way, a narrow strip, belonged to Crestwood, a leftover from a 1990s sub-BVY shown. No easement secured our access. Victoria had weaponized this loophole, her slab a surgical strike. Retirement was meant to be our reward. 3 decades of my engineering projects, and Sarah's corporate law VY Tories had earned us this haven. Instead, we were thrust into a battle. We called Ellen Carter, a lawyer famed for crushing rogue HOAs. She arrived the next morning, her sharp gaze missing nothing. Over coffee on our porch, the mountains loomed, overshadowed by the slab's menace. We poured out our story, our dream, Victoria's ambush. Ellen nodded, jotting notes. They own the road, technically, but blocking access is a legal restraint of property rights. Litigation could drag on for years, though. They've got deep pockets. Her eyes gleamed. Ever checked who really owns that road? I frowned. Crestwood, right? She smirked. Maybe not. Old sub-BVY scions often have tangled titles. Her laptop unveiled a bombshell. Aspen Way wasn't Crestwood's after all. Post-2008 crash, Pinnacle Development's bankruptcy left it with Horizon Ventures LLC, a ghost company. They probably don't even know they own it, Ellen said. They'd sell cheap. A surge of adrenaline hit me, the kind I felt sealing multimillion-dollar deals. What if I buy the road? Sarah's eyes sparked. Ellen grinned. Let's find out. Through a contact, we reached Horizon. I posed as a landowner securing access, downplaying the road's value. They sold it for pennies, eager to dump a forgotten asset. As the paperwork processed, we kept it under wraps. Meanwhile, Victoria and her lackey, Martin Kessler, unleashed a barrage of petty harassment. Notices stacked. A poor mailbox was non-compliant. Sarah's wildflower garden. Invasive. Their sprinklers malfunctioned, flooding our path. Martin delivered each jab, his smirk growing. Ellen urged patience. Let them think they're winning. Sarah dove into Crestwood's finances, uncovering that Victoria had clung to her presidency beyond term limits, citing, Emergency powers, never revoked. Shady withdrawals lined up with Victoria's home renovations and Martin's shiny new truck. General Ramsey got a notice for his unapproved flagpole, fueling his rebellion. They target anyone who doesn't kneel, he growled. Then came the gut punch. My gate-hand carved cedar from my father's workshop was stolen. Posts sawed off, a sign left behind. You don't own us. My dog, Ranger, growled at the air. Trail cams caught two masked figures in a black pickup. I sat up all night with a shotgun, filed a vandalism report, and installed a steel gate with a trespassers prosecuted sign. Ellen confirmed the road purchase. We drafted notices announcing my ownership and a usage agreement, guaranteed resident access, barrier removal, and a due law 5,000 monthly fee triple Crestwood's dues. At the HOA meeting, Victoria ran her fiefdom, silencing dissent. I stood. Ms. Langston, I have business here. I own Aspen Way. The room erupted in gasps. Victoria paled. Impossible. Ellen distributed copies of the deed. Horizon Ventures sold it to Mr. Bennett. Martin blustered about lawsuits, but the crowd turned on Victoria. The next morning, I had the slab hauled away. Victoria stormed the site, blocking the excavator. This is HOA property. I handed her the deed. Not anymore. She stepped aside, seething, then ordered a bigger slab, digging her own grave. That night, cameras caught Martin smashing my road sign. I filed a police report. He got slapped with a criminal mischief citation, his ego bruised. We issued free road permits to residents, excluding board members, who faced tripled water bills for meter access. Victoria called, shrieking, "You're holding us hostage!" I echoed her own words. "I'm enforcing community standards." Sarah's financial dig uncovered a cesspool inflated invoices, kickbacks, consulting fees, tied to Victoria's remodel. Ramsey's allies exposed rigged votes and selective fines. Then Martin called, voice shaky. "I want out. Victoria's losing it." At a diner, he spilled everything. Victoria siphoned HOA funds, faking reports, buying his silence with that truck. He offered emails, invoices, and notes for immunity from my lawsuits. I agreed, demanding his resignation and full cooperation. His USB drive was dynamite proof of Victoria's fraud, from due law 60,000 in landscaping, to her remodel to secret plans targeting troublemakers. We demanded Victoria's resignation, new elections, and acceptance of the road agreement, threatening lawsuits and a DA referral. Victoria scoffed, but her board, rattled by Martin's defection, wavered. Residents, led by Ramsey, called an emergency meeting at the community center, packed with furious faces. The interim treasurer revealed due law 120,000 in misspent funds. Victoria's defense blaming clerical errors collapsed as residents shared stories of harassment.